It is April 29th in this year, 2022. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast, and tonight, 3 hours of pre-taped wrestling between SmackDown and AEW Rampage. We have a lot to get into. We have some new gimmicks tonight, some new professional names. Until then, we are podcaster X, Y, and Z, and we're going to talk about the news. Alfred, today, a dark day for NXT.
Yes, unfortunately, it is another Black Friday due to quote-unquote budgetary cuts with immediate effect as of today, April 29, 2022. WWE has come to terms with the release of the following talent: Dexter Lumis, Malcolm Bivens, Dakota Kai, Harland, Persia Parada, Raylan Divine, Draco Anthony, Vish Kanya, Mila Milani, and Blair Baldwin. So, a lot of names. I'm sure some people would be surprised by some of the names on this list. Some names like Harlan, which is somebody who was hailed as the next Brock Lesnar by a lot of people. Somebody who was kind of like a project who has no pro wrestling background, but apparently, according to reports, Harlan did not progress as well as some coach would have liked, and he's really only been there for about a year. Malcolm Bivens' situation is a little different because reportedly he was not going to re-sign with WWE. They did want to get him out there doing digital content, maybe expand his role within NXT, but who knows if this is a Pat Buck situation where he's got something lined up somewhere else. But Malcolm Bivens did not intend on coming back. And then Dakota Kai was said to be in a similar situation of not necessarily expecting to be back with WWE anytime soon. But this is WWE once again making these mass releases, which unfortunately, very unfortunately, have become the new normal in WWE. And if you just look at the timing, I hate to say this, and this is not something I wanted out there like as a take, because I never want to project somebody losing their jobs. But if you look at the timing, that this is a Friday before the earnings report next week, and you look at some of the booking here, which was very perplexing, it really does not surprise me, unfortunately, given the climate that we're in, Issa.
Yeah, some of these names were very surprising to me, especially people that were just in a tag title match 2 weeks ago with Dexter Lumis. He's involved in so many stories. I feel bad for Indy Hartwell. Like he's literally lost everyone as part of the way. And on top of that, Harlan, I'm not sure if maybe we hyped him up more than WWE did. I think that he did a very good job at selling himself in social media, right? But when they debuted him as part of a security crew, that's when I started scratching my head with how are they really going to use this guy. But like you said, you never want to hear about anybody losing their jobs. But so many people that were just on television. Malcolm Bivens is going to go somewhere and he's going to be so successful. Roderick Strong is another one. Him and Indy should get together and form a faction of the Left Behind or something, but it's never a good day when WWE does these mass releases. But unfortunately, like you said, they're expected. And I feel like right after WrestleMania, we've been all hanging on, waiting for the news, because there's always mass releases right after WrestleMania.
I mean, Dexter Lumis, huge surprise. I think with Harlan, a lot of potential. You have to think with 10 wrestlers, varying salary levels. I'm going to put this at maybe $1 million off the balance sheet that they saved today, divided maybe in a couple different ways between more experienced and developmental talents. But man, with NXT, this feels like they're cleaning house so much to the point what's going to be left and what's going to be left that works. I'm thinking about like the 1985 season of SNL when they rebooted it and they brought in like Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr. and Randy Quaid. And the season finale was Lauren Michaels showing up, locking everyone in a room, setting fire to it, and then taking John Lovitz with him and saying, okay, you're the one that has potential. I feel like Triple H is going to come back.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah, going to come back, grab Nikita Lyons, Tony D'Angelo, and leave everyone else just to, decay. But no, I think this is very crazy given where we were a year ago with NXT, and with 2.0, every time it gets going, I feel like they just kneecap themselves.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's something else that was brought up, is some officials in NXT are now frustrated because they weren't given very much notice as to these releases, a lot of which were in the middle of storylines. This is the Diamond Mine. I just, pray for the Diamond Mine, because without Malcolm Bivens, the heart, the soul, the charisma is gone from that group. You saw Roderick Strong in that mouthpiece role, and it was nothing interesting. So I'm very worried for the Diamond Mine as a faction. But I think with a lot of these NIL recruits that WWE has right now, it's interesting because I like the idea and the philosophy of we're going to bring some new blood into wrestling. We're going to recruit these super athletes. I don't know about WWE's approach to training them, though, because instead of getting them a lot of live matches and as much exposure behind the scenes as possible, they're not having very many matches. And a lot of this is happening before our eyes, and they're not given very much time. It's a very, very, very short lease that they're now using to assess these guys who how are you going to know within a year if somebody's got what it takes to be a great pro wrestler, especially given how little experience that Harlan had.
Dylan Matthews saying, does Robert Stone inherit the diamond mine? I could actually see that happening.
It could happen. I mean, they're changing his name, Mr. Stone, so maybe that's part of the investment in this overhaul. I could see it.
But to counter your point, Alfred, I just don't think it should be shocking anymore. Like, they've done this in people that are in the middle storylines on the main roster. Look at Malachi Black. He had just came back and interrupted the main event of SmackDown and got released 2 days later. So I feel like this, the creative team in NXT, while I can understand how it can be frustrating, it shouldn't be a shocking or something that they're not prepared for.
Sure, yeah, but to be sympathetic toward them, you don't want to write for a show and always have an out as to why somebody could leave. That would lead to very kind of shoddy storytelling. So you don't want to commit to everybody, but it seems like internally, at least, they feel like the rug is being swept from under them. But yeah, they should be prepared for anything in WWE.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to ask, does Indy get back with what's his name? Duke Hudson now, because her husband left and Duke's girl left, so it would only make sense.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
I mean, there's not going to be any more fifth-year seniors, no more Jason Jordans, no more Tyler Breezes. Yeah, it's crazy, right? They're not really investing in talent as so much as they are incubating, fast-tracking, and then making a decision, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they're on the end of two different extremes. Before, in the former era, they kept people around for way too long. I'm not saying Aaliyah's been around for way too long, but I mean, before she even made to the roster, I believe it was 10 years that she was on that roster. And so now they're going the complete opposite. And I don't think they're holding on to them long enough, given the level of experience of a lot of these people they're bringing in, a lot of pet projects there. I don't think a 6 months to a year is going to be enough time. But WWE, what they should do is partner with some promotions around the country and have an excursion type deal where they get to go out and learn different styles instead of trying to do it all at once, because then they have limited ring time.
No, I'm telling you, they should acquire Impact and merge that with their developmental.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
They don't have to buy it. They could just work with them. But yeah, if they had to buy it just to make Glenn look like a genius, I'm here for it.
It makes all the sense in the world, because it's the one that I think they have the best relationship with. I guess Evolve, but is Evolve even still a thing anymore?
Yeah, I think it is. And they have a good relationship with Evolve, especially with
Triple H had a good relationship.
Yeah, exactly. It's a new regime now. So it seems like they still at least have a working relationship. But yeah, it's definitely a new regime now. Not as much of an emphasis on that kind of genre of professional wrestling. That's fine if they don't want to, create this new crop of professional wrestlers. I'm fine with that. But if they could use the art of professional wrestling to help train them, nobody's asking you to feature Evolve in any of these promotions on your TV. You could send your wrestlers there behind the scenes so they can get better.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we could talk about this all night. What else do we have in the news?
Well, oh, girl, are you ready for some tea? Who wants some tea? Who wants to spill some of that tea? Okay, we've got a very juicy story that's developed over the past couple of days. Ember Moon, otherwise known as Athena, appeared on Chris Van Vliet. It's a very good interview that she goes really in depth about her frustrations in her final days of NXT. She was talking about the downfall of NXT and, Triple H getting kicked out of power apparently, and how that affected her. And most notably, she was talking about a meeting had where women were told to dress sexier, this according to Ember Moon, and wear booty butt cheek shorts, which is how she described them. A follow-up, WWE did bring in a fashion expert named Melanie Pace to conduct meetings. They were not mandatory. Numerous women refused to attend this meeting, but the meetings were reportedly held under the guise of fashion consulting and fashion aid. It was never explicitly said that these women should dress sexier, but apparently it was implied. So now there is a controversy as to the shift in philosophy of how women are presented on NXT 2.0. If you watch the product, you can come to your own conclusions either way. Issa, we'll start with you.
I personally think that, you have to appeal to all audiences. So I can
Oh.
understand them trying to go in that kind of direction, but that's not for everyone. So if you have characters that are not comfortable going in that direction, then those are the characters that you can use to appeal to a younger audience, to an older audience, because it is a TV show that you are producing. So you do have to understand that there's, especially when the key demo is a certain age and, group.
Mhm.
But that being
50-year-old
said,
men, 50-year-old men are very horny.
That they are. Just ask Nikita Lyons.
excuse me, but with that being said, you also have to respect where these talents stand, and do you have people that are more than ready to do that, and you have people that are not, and they need to be respectful of that. They can't request for everyone to be wearing booty shorts. Those times in wrestling are gone.
Yeah. Man. So when Wendy Chu is wearing a sexy onesie, then we know it's gone too far.
Yes, we gotta protect Wendy Chu, and
She definitely skipped the fashion meetings.
This is definitely. I mean, if you've just they have emphasized more of a sex sells type mentality on NXT 2.0 compared to NXT, and it's something for everybody. It's a lot of opinions are nuanced, and I think that applies to this too. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer in terms of this is how women need to be presented on the television. I think in professional wrestling, everybody goes in a different lane and appeals to different things, whether or not you want wrestling for somebody or whether you want a mixture of both of them. I think that there's a lot of different ways to present women, but it's good to hear that it wasn't mandatory. It wasn't something that I'm sure that they had to go to, but how WWE is in terms of how petty they can be and how you get heat in this company. And the word not mandatory is almost saying, I wish a motherfucker would.
Yes.
Amen.
What else we got?
Final story, NXT might return to Full Sail University. They haven't worked there since 2020, of course, because of COVID, but now there are discussions, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, that they might go back to Full Sail. There was part of a scholarship program. It's really cool that raised about $500,000 in scholarships. And NXT and Full Sail, that's where it was for NXT 1.0. Would you welcome the change, Glenn?
Well, the reason they want to go back is they want that free Full Sail student labor working on their program.
Yeah. Well, they pay them in scholarships. They do learn at the internship. I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like, they find a way to write that off like double or something. I don't know. I'm sure it's very advantageous for them.
Oh, sure.
But no, I think going back to Full Sail, why not? Why not try and recapture the glory days?
I'm not opposed to it. I don't know that it's gonna feel the same, but I'm not opposed to it. I still feel like, and I know they made it bigger and changed the set, but NXT still feels like the one show that's stuck in the pandemic era because they haven't made any changes.
Keep talking about this. I'm going to be right back. And then actually, let's do the ad. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
First, do you have the video, Alfred?
I can cue up the video and then we will get into the.
Let's do stop overpaying mortgage debt.
Stop overpaying mortgage debt.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna go grab a little some of my blood sugars. I've been doing this super.
I don't think I just have a payoff debt video. I think I'll just use that one. Is that okay?
Yeah, cool.
Already
Yeah,
payoff
I'll
debt.
be right back.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's get into this copy. Wrestling Inc. is helping make home ownership easy by partnering with Conrad Thompson and First Family Mortgage. If you're ready to own your next home, hurry over to savewithwink.com right now. Stop throwing your money away on rent. You can own a home with as little as no money down. Get into your next house with savewithwink.com. Here are some more details from the one and only, the GOAT, Tony Schiavone.
Hello, wrestling fans. Tony Schiavone here from my good friends at First Family Mortgage and WrestlingInc.com. So why don't we get you a plan together today? Let's pay off your house faster. Let's get you out of that credit card debt. Let's get a lower monthly payment. First Family Mortgage can help. Complete the fast and easy form, and a member of Conrad's team will be in touch very soon.
SaveWithWink.com, Issa.
That was absolutely incredible. The video production on that clip is amazing. The editing is, it's incredible.
Tony Schiavone's never looked better.
Are you gonna buy a house?
I'm thinking it would be a good idea. I think
Yeah, are you gonna like get like a bigger waiting room, or maybe have two waiting
of course,
rooms
I
and
do
start?
have
You
one.
can like categorize your waiting rooms if you get like a bigger house.
We'll start with waiting room renovations, and then
Okay,
you know,
okay.
I
I'm
think
here
because
for
you
a
got to
good
get the
house flip.
most. Absolutely, and that's going to add the value to it, especially all these legendary stories people hear about the waiting rooms. So I think that's really going to make me come up. But I do have a question in terms of NXT 1.0. I know we were talking about the old Full Sail University. I actually do not want to see them return to that because
Really?
there's so many memories and great memories of moments happening in that building that to see the product the way it is now in that building, it's almost like seeing like your favorite wrestler in his like 60s in full gear, where it's like, yeah, he's wearing the same thing, but this just makes it more sad and reminds you of
So you're
how
saying
far
that
they've come.
returning to Full Sail will be like watching a Goldberg feud?
Oh, see, I'm not going to say Goldberg. Goldberg still looks good. Goldberg's one of the few wrestlers who could wear full gear in his 60s. I'm not putting Goldberg in that category.
I'm talking about his matches.
So Alfred, then the question is, so when you get those you up texts from partners you may have dated or known in your 20s, do you think you reply with like, "Nah, baby, I just want to remember you how you were," you know?
Yes, exactly. I'm a perfect gentleman. That's exactly how I reply. I love it.
I've been doing this ultra low carb thing, which has been going well for 5 days, but I was just starting to feel a little low today. You know, I've been literally eating spinach, just complete like whole foods, complete whole.
Are
food.
you okay?
Yeah,
Okay, I got a little peanut butter Cliff Bar, which is good. And you know what the problem? My biggest problem is every time I get anything with peanut butter in it, I start singing the Peter Pan peanut butter theme song in my head, and it's stuck in my head for like hours after.
Wow.
So
somehow that doesn't sound like a fun song to have stuck in your head. I would go crazy.
It's a banger. Mark Lynn Baker, back when he was riding high off Perfect Strangers, doing those Peter Pan peanut butter ads. So tonight, here's the deal. NXT has been changing a lot of gimmicks lately. They've been changing a lot of names. They've been rebooting things at work. And, this is both NXT and WWE, the people that have given us Butch, the people that have given us Gunther, Ludwig von Kaiser, Alba Fire. And so tonight we've coordinated with the fine people at WWE to rebrand ourselves. Now, here I am joined by Freddie Goods and Jezebel Ramirez. I am very fortunate, however. I used the name Vic Payback on the Indies, and WWE has said, we love that name. We were so happy to let you use that name. And, I just think this is going to be very good. So, please welcome myself and Freddie Goods and Jezebel Ramirez to the podcast tonight while we cover SmackDown, pre-taped last week, and AEW Rampage.
Great. It feels great to be Freddie Goods. You're in order to answer your question, Glenn, when women text me you up, I answer them, new name, who dis?
Oh my God. That's incredible. Vic, can you give us the story behind that name?
Well, if you're like me and grew up in the 80s, you remember the great sitcom Alice in Mel's Diner and the late great Vic Tayback, who played Mel at Al's Diner. I thought of this like 15 years ago, and like an idiot, I posted the name online as like, this is a really cool name. I should DJ under this. And then like other people started using it. I was the first one. Oh, wait a second. I'm just getting something from WWE. They said, other people are using it. We can't have you using that name on our program. We need something that we own. This is what we were afraid of. So we let our crack team of experts come up with a new name for you, and we think you're going to love it. They're feeding it, piping it in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now Lincoln Booth.
Yes!
Wow.
For my run in NXT.
Lincoln Booth.
We'll see how this works. We'll see how this goes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Glenn, but I'm also getting something from WWE.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
what are you getting, Jezebel?
They are not letting me keep my last name, so moving forward, I'm just Jezebel. Okay, thank you.
Oh, good Lord. And nope, I'm still Freddie Goods. Still here for the time being. I'll hold it down here. But congratulations on your new names. Your new names.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna ride this out. We're gonna see if we get over with these, and hopefully, HBK, Triple H, Vince. they're all happy, hopefully. So let's talk about SmackDown
Which-
tonight, pre-taped from last week. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn in a steel cage, no escape tonight. Drew McIntyre getting the win as predicted. What did you think of this match, Mr. Goods?
I thought it was a fine match. The crowd seemed pretty tired because they had been there for a couple of hours for that SmackDown, but they were able to get them toward the end. I thought this was good. I like the superplex that they did off the top of the cage. This has been a very wacky storyline and how they portrayed Drew McIntyre as a top babyface headed into a world title match. I don't think they've done him very many favors with how Sami Zayn's constantly able to run away from him. But it was a fine ending, and it was something for Sami Zayn to do, and they did a good job in this match.
Yeah, there was a period of time in the match where Sami Zayn was just killing it, which makes you wonder, why has he been playing the chicken shit, runaway person when he can put on we all know he can put on a hell of a match with Drew McIntyre. Why not just do that? Because he was kicking some major butt in this match. I actually really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I also thought Drew McIntyre looked great, and I knew they were building him up for something. Apparently, we kind of found out what it is. We'll get into that later. But yeah, this was fun. It was a fun opener. I the best out of this whole Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre weird feud that they had. Because remember, this was set up by Sami Zayn saying, "I'll fight the next person that walks out of the door." Like, I also don't understand why Drew McIntyre is so invested in this when it was just like, bro, you weren't even supposed to have this,
David Montalvo, $2 super chat, saying new names: Isa, Glenn with one N, and lastly Packer.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
You would.
Shout out to Christian Watson of the Green Bay Packers, newest member of the Green Bay Packers, wide receiver. Gonna be a very dynamic player for us.
Why do you guys have to bring up the Packers into this?
Christian Watson from North Dakota State, ladies and gentlemen.
So what do they do with Sammy next? Because this was a stepping stone for Drew tonight. I was actually very
I
surprised.
thought you were talking about Sammy Watkins of the Green Bay Packers.
No.
In the offseason. Sammy Watkins, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs. But no, go ahead.
No, but Sami Zayn did great in this match. He's been absolutely on a tear lately in some of the hottest feuds, some of the most entertaining segments in all of SmackDown. Drew McIntyre now is going to the main event of WrestleMania Backlash. What do we do? What do we do with Sami Zayn now?
I don't know. I'm too busy laughing at the same booth chat.
I don't know. Oh, wait. I just got a message from WWE. Oh my God. Twitter's been blowing up. Apparently, they didn't make the connection when they came up with the name between John Wilkes Booth and Abraham Lincoln. And apparently, the way it's spelled, they're a little worried about Lincoln Park, might sue for infringement. But I'm standing by. They're going to pipe me in a new name that they're saying, like, this possibly can't offend anyone. They think this is really good. They think this is really hot. I'm just going to be on a tear with this. Let's see what it is. Oh,
there it is.
There we go.
Judas, welcome.
I don't know, Jericho. You're gonna get got for that. You're gonna have to change it soon. Guarantee you.
Good. It reminds me of like Judy Blume, the children's book author. I'm surprised they didn't go with like J.K. Rowling or something like that. But I'm sure a hip hop artist out there has taken that. But no, Judas Blume. I think we're gonna have smooth sailing. Oh wait.
Oh, no.
Judas did what? Oh no, this is okay. So for the time being, they're just saying we're gonna just shorten this, and they're saying they're gonna come up with something else for us throughout the show. We're gonna find something that works, that's controversy free, and that gets over with the audience.
It remains topical as well,
and it's got to kind of work. It's got to kind of work for professional wrestling. So I look forward to seeing what WWE comes up with later. We're gonna figure this out. They're saying
shout out to Tina for understanding the name. Tina gets it.
So after this match, we saw a recap of last week with Ronda and Charlotte, and Charlotte cut a promo saying she doesn't get humiliated or embarrassed because she's adored. And they were setting up this Beat the Clock challenge tonight, which didn't quite go how we thought. But we did have, there were a lot of promos tonight for a pre-tape show. Let's talk about Baron Corbin and with Madcap Moss's trophy, talking about destroying the one things that Moss loves the most. What did you think of this, Mr. Goods? Oh, it's just Goods now. Good.
Oh, look at that. I lost a Z. That's wow. Nobody
Wow.
Maybe I got an email about that, but that's unfortunately, but I guess it's shortened, but that's okay. I thought this was it was fine. I only think it was good because Madcap Moss didn't come off as the Madcap Moss he's been in terms of that joking character telling terrible jokes. I really think they need to get away from that. Even if that means he has to wrestle in coveralls, I'll take it. But I thought he came off fine with a segment like this. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, I think both need name changes because he doesn't seem happy these days now that he's not friends with Madcap anymore. They need to change both of their names so that they can kind of start fresh and maybe even start with new opponents.
So do they just become Corbin and Moss, or Corbin and Madcap? How do you Freddie Good, how do you attack this name change?
I've always liked the name Riddick Moss. I think that they can go back to Riddick Moss. That I believe that is his real name. Actually, they probably won't because it's his real name. But they don't even have to. They could drop the Madcap. They could just call him Moss for all. Who cares? Andy Moss or something like that in tribute to Randy Moss. And then Corbin could just be Corbin, or it could be Baron Corbin.
Yes.
The one thing I enjoyed about this segment was that the trophy got an entrance. I thought that was great.
Yes. Yeah,
I popped for it. Even though we knew where it was going, as soon as they came out carrying the trophy, I was like, okay, one of them is Moss, and he's gonna do his thing. But yeah, I thought Madcap Moss looked great here.
Jezebel, you're getting very over with your new name trending on Twitter. What did you think of this Intercontinental title match tonight between Shanky versus Ricochet, and Ricochet retaining his title?
I didn't understand why it was happening. I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I really want more for Ricochet and this Intercontinental Championship reign. This title hasn't meant anything for a long, long time, and that just has to stop. You managed to build interesting storylines on Raw with your secondary title, because I think Theory is interesting, right? A lot more interesting than what Ricochet is doing right now. I can't. I want more for Ricochet, and I want more for the Intercontinental title overall. It feels, if you're a big wrestling fan, it just feels disrespectful that this is how we're doing it. And I think this is not even building towards an Intercontinental title anything. This is building towards Shanky and Jinder breaking up. That's what they're doing this for. They're not even doing it to put Ricochet over, and it's stupid.
And I feel like everybody who is in an alliance always has to tease these breakup storylines. They're just getting to the point where they don't mean much. And it's a shame because RK Bro, one day they're going to break up, and that is going to mean a lot. And I really do think that it's going to be such a monumental moment. They need to protect that idea of teams breaking up, because if they keep breaking up, and you have this huge split, it's going to kind of ruin the mystique of it. So I really don't like that they're just randomly do it. And I didn't like this match at all. I thought it was fine, but it just, you would never know that Shanky was 7 feet tall and how he was booked, how easily he was taken off his feet by a guy half his size. And the roll up, the fact that Ricochet could roll him up, there's that old famous giant spot where they're trying to roll him up and it's impossible. So they have to find something else. No, Ricochet just easily does it. And you could see him working with him. So it was a very weird match. I didn't like it.
And I like that they're splitting up Jinder and Shanky, because I think Jinder versus Ricochet could actually be really good.
It already happened. He beat Jinder last week.
Yeah, but I mean, if they give them like a real feud with like a real match, not just this stepping stone for the two of them to break up.
Boom.
Yeah, no. I mean, they already kind of did it backwards. Yeah, by giving away the match. I appreciate the fact that they're at least giving Ricochet like an honest run as Intercontinental Champion, saying he's the Intercontinental Champion, and most importantly, defending that title on TV. I think that is going to help if they're consistent. But these matches that he's had have been pretty forgettable. I don't think they've given him the time that where he could really, really show you what he's got. So hopefully they keep this going where he's doing it like an open challenge. Well,
also, Freddie, Jezebel, how in the hell do you remember anything that happened on SmackDown last week?
I don't know, probably because they showed us like about 10,000 recaps between tonight and Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean, they've got about, it's only been 6 days. I usually about 7 days it stays in my mind, and then it just goes away.
Yeah, as soon as Saturday hits, actually my memory bank is about to clear up in about 5 minutes for me. So
I'm worried I'm about to get massively confused by all my cartel adjacent TV shows, because this week I watched Better Call Saul. I finished the last season of Good Girls, and then tonight the last season of Ozark drops. So I'm about to be very confused between 3 TV shows that have massive similarities.
Man, do you ever get the characters confused where you think one storyline is going on with the other?
I do. I think Good Girls. Did you ever watch that with Christina Hendricks, Retta, and Mae Whitman?
No.
That's good, but it's kind of like a network TV version of like a Breaking Bad type show. It's enjoyable though. Like just it flies by.
So kind of like a watered down version.
Yeah, it's not as. I mean, Better Call Saul's like awesome. Ozark is more often than not good, but Ozark is like exceptionally dark.
Yeah.
So we will see. We have more. Oh, I'm getting something from WWE Creative. This is very exciting. They have said, we are so confident in this. We didn't even need to research it because we just think this name rolls off the tongue. It has a familiar quality to it where we think everyone's going to get it and you're just going to get over because people are going to feel like they've been hearing your name their entire life. I'm excited to see what this is. Oh,
Earl Harbor. What up, Earl? Yeah.
Earl. There we go. Earl Harbor. I think this is going to be the one that sticks.
Yes.
I also noticed they changed Freddie's last name.
What?
Just
Would
keep
you look at
using
that?
letters.
Unbelievable. They're shortening it again. They must see more star potential in this one. I didn't even notice that. Thanks you guys for pointing that out. This is a developing story. So I'm Freddie. So it's shortening the name again. Okay, well, I'm sure. I'm just
Earl Harbor, Freddie,
Earl Harbor,
Jezebel, and Butch.
Dream Realm Studio. I always think it says Dream Realm Studios, $2. Jezebel Creative says Outcast is suing. I think you got fair use. I think it'll work. I think it'll be good.
WWE is gonna see that super chat. I guarantee you, my name is about. I'm gonna get the call, and my name will change here probably throughout the next 2 minutes.
A name change sometimes is enough to get you over, and we're seeing that tonight with Jezebel. Also with Raquel Rodriguez tonight versus Kat Cordoza. Raquel getting a very, very good, not a straightforward squash. I mean, they let her do a little bit more, but what did you think of this, Freddie?
It was good. It was good for what it was with Raquel Rodriguez. You could tell that they see a lot in her. I don't like this whole thing where she has to smile through everything she's doing. That's their thing with Raquel Rodriguez, although she was doing a lot more of it in NXT. But I thought it was fine. I think if they get behind her, she's going to be, they don't have a lot of big women in terms of taller, the type of build that Raquel brings. So she's really going to stand out on that roster. So I'm looking forward to seeing her wrestle a lot of people.
Yeah, but to your point, I also don't want to see her smiling with that build.
Yeah.
When you're a bad bitch, to quote Jay Cargill herself, you shouldn't have to be walking around smiling and being all like, oh my God, no, like let her be dominant, let her show up, put her in a face-off with Charlotte Flair so people can really comprehend the size of her. But, if people are not watching NXT and her how you carry yourself would also show up on your size. And they're taking away from her build with these smiley promos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, she got over doing, especially because she got over in NXT, the original NXT, just being this mean type of giant. And she was so good in that role in terms of all that fire that she would show that I think it kind of hurts Mystique. Although, she looks great. And why WWE, in their philosophy of putting smiles on people's faces. So, I know exactly why, as a babyface, they're going to make her kind of portray that role.
Yeah. Who do you put her in a feud with?
I like the idea of her and Natalya. I think Natalya would be a perfect opponent for her based on, oh my God, what in the hell is going on here? Freddie, go now. Yeah. I was fine with the name Freddie Goods, but whatever.
I'm Rosemary now. Rosemary. Outcast suing scared WWE and they completely changed my name to Rosemary. So, Glenn, I'm sorry, Earl, to your point, that I saw that they announced Shayna Baszler and Sasha Banks for next week. And it made me so sad because that's a match that a couple of years ago when Shayna Baszler was at the top of her NXT heel run, I would have paid good money to see. So it just made me so sad because I would say if Shayna was the badass that we knew her as, Shayna and Raquel would be money. But now, I think you can get Shayna back to that. But right now, Shayna is just lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. So got a little backstage promo with Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser speaking some German because that sounds menacing.
Yes, tough. In a dark room, no less.
On to better things. Let's talk about RK Bro out there tonight. Face to face with the Usos, Drew and Roman getting involved. Now, Rosemary, what'd you think of this segment?
Wait, what?
The segment tonight with the Usos, RK Bro, Drew,
Why would I?
Roman.
And your man.
It made no fucking sense. I'm sorry. I'm so angry at this. I don't understand. You took away the only match that everybody was looking forward to at Backlash, and now you're really showing that you had no plan for anything here. No sense. It just makes absolutely no sense. Maybe they just wanted one match to not be a rematch, but I'm hoping that, because I did see that there's a confirmed appearance from Raw, Roman and the Usos on Raw, that we get a little bit backstory, or that they split these matches and have Drew and Roman on a one-on-one, and we keep the tag titles unification. Because I'm sorry, I hated everything about this. Like, why have I been invested into RK Bro and the Usos for the last couple of weeks? And now it's not anything to worry about. Nope, I love Roman Reigns. I usually do, but I'm very negative in regards to this. I didn't like. I think
love
it's
that
a very
honesty.
questionable decision.
Wow.
Love it. I love the honesty. That's why she changed her name to Rosemary, because of honesty like that. And I'm completely with you on that. In that I felt like this was kind of a bait and switch move. I was actually very excited. I thought that tag team match should have main evented WrestleMania Backlash, because of these two great teams that
that's
are
what I thought we
legendary.
were going.
Yeah, you know they're going to have a good match, and there's a lot of stakes. Those tag team titles being unified, and it looks like they just not only completely went away from it, but they're doing a match now dragging Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns in it, where it,
Why?
to my knowledge, is not going to be winner take all, and it's a very throwaway main event for a pay-per-view. If I bought tickets to this pay-per-view because there's going to be this unified tag match, which a lot of people probably did, I would be pissed.
Mm-hmm. Six-man tag is kind of whack. Six-man tag has always been whack. Always.
Yeah, I wouldn't say always, and I would, especially
really?
in AEW with trios matches. I think
trios are not a six-man tag.
Exactly, and so they're two different styles of matches. But to that point, WWE has done good six-man tag matches when they want, especially when there's hands like, listen, this is going to be a good match. You got a lot of great workers in there, and I have no doubt that this is going to be a good match. It's just there's no stakes. It's like a TV main event on a pay-per-view, and I just think they did a disservice to the people who are paying customers at that event.
And that's what I'm saying. Unless you're putting all the titles on the line, that's the only thing that makes a six-man tag good, in my opinion. Otherwise, it just sort of screams like we need a main event this week, and why not toss, two feuds together, basically.
Right.
Okay. So, while you were talking, WWE asked me for some facts about myself. Apparently, there's been a little bit of a backlash about Earl Harbor. Apparently, something happened in Hawaii. I mean, I don't want to rehash the past, but apparently, I don't think it was recently. I think it was a while ago. But they're like, our audience is very old and they remember it, so we think this might be bad. So they asked me some facts about me. I was like, well, my dad's a rabbi. My shoot last name is Rubenstein. So they came up with something new. They're going to say they're going to put it on the air. Let's see what's up. I think this will be good. It's a nod to Drew Hill.
How about
with
that?
DRU. Yeah,
Amazing.
Drew Wish.
That is
Amazing.
adorable.
So you know what I can do in cutting a promo is, I could be like, you think you're going to beat me? Make a wish.
There you go. Good synergy with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh my God. This will be great. This will be good. I'm excited about this name. Love Drew Hill. I mean, when are they getting back together?
Oh, who doesn't? I need to see some Cisco, not Thong Song Cisco, even though that was a classic and a Negro spiritual. I need Drew Hill Cisco.
Yo, the Thong Song. Don't even get me started. I could talk about that song all day. Still slaps.
Every auntie in the building.
Yep. And that music video, a classic.
Oh, yes. The white, what is that? The silk jumpsuit they had?
Yes. Jumping on the booties. Oh, incredible.
Okay, what is next tonight on SmackDown? Oh, we had Naomi versus Shayna Baszler, with Naomi getting the win. And do you think, Naomi and Sasha have to retain these belts, right, in the championship match?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they have to.
And Natalia's showing up, attacking Naomi. Sasha Banks out there as well. Natalia doing like double duty between NXT and SmackDown.
Yeah, she's in that workhorse. It's kind of like the Dolph Ziggler role. I think he showed what that's going to be in terms of they're going to continue to be on the road, but they're also going to fly into Florida on Tuesdays and work. And because the schedule's a lot lighter than it was in terms of main events or in live events, it's not that rough of an ask.
Right.
Yeah.
Although they're going to be in Europe this week, so I don't expect to see her pulling double duties this time around.
Right.
Oh,
Freddie G.
Oh, okay. See, I like that though. They could, if we could just keep the Freddie G, if that's legal, I know they're tinkering with the character. They think it's going to get over if it's shorter, but I like Freddie G. Freddie G is the one that should be.
Oh, Edward Cousins saying the cousin of Shorty G.
Yes, there you go. I know him. I will not confirm those rumors, but I do know Shorty G.
Terry Allen Jr. $2.30 saying Shinsuke versus Roman should happen at Backlash.
Yeah, that segment. I mean, there's a part of me that understands, because if I have an opportunity to come out there and get some loving from the tribal chief, I'm gonna go for it. So maybe Shinsuke was thinking that. Maybe Shinsuke was like, "What if I can get a hug?" I would have done it too. But that segment was a waste of all of our times, except for Shinsuke, who got to be embraced by the tribal chief. I'm still jealous.
Yeah. WWE Creative keeps making updates, and Sydney now joining the podcast.
Oh, what's up, Sydney? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great. I think I really like this one. I think this one will stick.
I don't know. Don't you think Vince and Bruce are going to look at that and say, aha, what if we flip the D and the N around and then it's like Cindy, but it's got sin in it? Like,
and they could trademark that too.
Oh, I mean, let's hope Stanford's not watching this,
Oh, they are.
Know. Yeah. David Montalvo, $2 saying, sorry, Isa and PR, I'm assuming Puerto Rico, not public relations. WWE wants you to be from Venezuela.
Saludos a Venezuela, mi amor, pero boricua para siempre.
No idea what any of that means.
Sí, mi también.
Oh, I'm getting something from WWE. They're saying, look, we've already got Drew McIntyre. We've already got Drew Gulak. For the time we believe in Drew Wish. We think you are the embodiment of Drew Wish, but we cannot have all these Drews. So for the time being, you're just going to go by Wish. And we're going to come up with, they're assuring me they're going to come up with a new name for me. They think, again, they know a little about me. They know my dad's a rabbi. They know my background. They think they're onto it with the theme, but they just haven't nailed the name yet. So they said, stand by. There will be an update coming later. But for now, let's see if Wish can get over in the interim.
Very promising. Very promising.
Very promising.
Yeah.
Hashtag where's Butch?
Oh, God.
Oh, they're doing a whole thing with this. They're really committing to this bit where Butch is gone. They've got the postcard graphics ready. And so we'll see where do they find Butch? Because they didn't find him tonight.
It's going to go nowhere. You know that, right? He's just going to come out with Sheamus like nothing happened next week, and they're going to pretend this never happened. But when Jeff Hardy did the same thing, it was drugs, but Butch does it, and it's a whole scavenger hunt.
I never want to put this out. Like, I hope everybody keeps their jobs and whatnot. It would be darkly funny if that was the last time we ever saw him, where's Butch? He got released. It's like he just disappeared out in the universe and nobody ever found him.
Yeah. Where do you think he is, Fred?
Oh, look at that. That'll look better on the posters, but I think Butch is somewhere in South Florida. I've been told he's in South Florida, just hanging out. Doing his thing. I know they have a European tour that they're on, so he might have caught a flight to that, maybe visited some relatives. But I hear he is on the streets of South Florida, just having a whale of a time.
Okay. Wish, where do you think Butch is?
Oh, well, there are some obvious jokes to be made with a name like that, but I won't make them.
No,
do it. So, no, look, I think he could. This might be maybe Pete Dunne shows back up. Maybe he's out of witness protection at this point. But we did get Ridge Holland versus Xavier Woods tonight. What was this Shaken Sheamus thing? Like, they keep trying and put over like different nicknames for this faction tonight. Ridge Holland versus Xavier Woods. What did you think of this, Cindy?
I wish I cared. Honestly, I was more invested scrolling through the worst butch hashtag and just seeing how people were reacting to that because it was so ridiculously funny tweets out there than paying attention to this. And for some reason, I had a feeling it was gonna turn into a second match right after. Maybe it's the fact that we had the news of the releases before the show and knowing that it was pre-taped, kind of like my viewing experience tonight was not 100% there, but I just haven't cared about this feud since the beginning. Even, I hope Big E is getting better, but even when Big E was still involved, I didn't care for this. There's just something lacking with the story that I just don't care. Good match, though. Of course, it always is. All of these guys are super talented, especially Sheamus.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Wish.
I was
Fred.
gonna say you might think 50-50 booking between the tag teams. So Xavier Woods won that. Then we had Sheamus versus Kofi Kingston with Sheamus picking up the win.
Of course.
Yeah, and they really stretch with this, but I believe they were in 5 consecutive segments between the promos, the matches, the aftermatch, and then another pre-match promo, a match and aftermath. And you know what's missing from this storyline, Issa, is a story. Like, we've never really been given an actual reason as to why. Yeah, Butch went missing and they got in fights, but
the actual story is where's Butch. That's the most interesting thing that has come out of this whole thing.
Yes. They should have like a GPS or something like that on him. And I do like the Shake and Sheamus thing was very funny for what it was, because this crowd was all over Sheamus. And it's just kind of a line that Xavier Woods said while he was calling Sheamus a thought and a hoe and saying that he has all these different tag team partners. And the Shake and Sheamus, I thought it was funny that it just like they came back from break and they were chanting it. And they were just really all over poor Sheamus tonight.
Yeah, shout out to this crowd for still being chanting. They were sitting there through what, the 3.5 hour, 4 hours since they had to sit through 2 shows.
Yeah, I mean, and you could tell the crowd getting that into it. I mean, more power to them. Now it's Fred, like the band's Fred.
Oh,
Fred,
yes.
Fred, you want him dead? Put some bullets in the coffin. Yeah,
there is. Yeah, you had that on deck.
Oh, I mean, look. I mentioned that when I bought this house in Vegas last year and I was commuting out here, I had this weird urge where I was like, I'm going to listen to the band CD and watch them making the band. And yeah, I like got really back into listening to the band for like a good 30 days last spring.
DABAND.
And you can't stream that on Paramount Plus. There's like
you can or can't
videos. No, you cannot. There's bootleg videos on YouTube, and of course, but the Chappelle Show sketch is really
it's one of those rare things where I usually go back and watch the fights on making the band or the band when between Ness and Fred, but Chappelle making fun of that was even funnier.
Absolutely, and the band had hard times. You also had hard times, Lacey Evans. But tonight, talking about going into the Marines, graduating from military school.
Come on, please stop. I'm sorry. This is enough. The first one was great. Now I just want to punch her in the face. It's a heel. She's not a baby face. This is a heel. If you have no desire to punch her in the face every time you watch her do this, there's something wrong with you. She's like that one person at the family reunion that tells one interesting story and they realize they captivated everybody's attention, so now they won't shut the hell up. And they're just talking nonsense. I'm going to tell you something, Lacey Evans. I hope you're listening to this. One time, I asked my mom to make me white rice because I don't like mixed rice. And I went ahead and talked back at her. So she didn't make my white rice. So I refused to eat. So I didn't eat for an entire 12 hours. You don't hear me complaining about that in front of the cameras, like on my YouTube channel or nothing. We all have hard times, bro.
Wait, you only like white rice?
Yes.
Makes you kind of a racist.
Good Lord. Thanks, Dad. You racist, Sydney.
I'm just saying, I had hard times too,
I think you need these stories every single week, by the way. Every week we see Lacey Evans. I want the clap back from Issa. But I will say, I did not want to punch Lacey Evans in the face watching this. I actually did enjoy this one. And I have liked the shift in character.
Soft.
I get it, Issa.
SAWFT. Soft.
I get it. But these are good. I don't want to discourage WWE from doing things like this because it's not that foreign of a concept. If somebody has an interesting story, the way we've known she's had this interesting story, you make the best out of it by telling the story. They're doing a good job having her authentically connect. And I did think she was humble in this one in saying that she's no better than them and they're no better than me.
That was the best line.
You know what I mean?
Everything that she said, that was actually the best line, the final line, when she said, I'm not better than them, but they're not better than me. She would have just said that, I would have been great.
Yes, I thought this was great babyface work for a company that does not know how to book babyfaces. So seeing something like this to me is a breath of fresh air.
I think she's great. I think her story is great. The presentation of this, like when they cut away and show the montage with the music, that's good. But when they have her standing there in front of that backdrop, that's where it loses me. There's a lot of power in somebody standing and looking at the camera, but unfortunately that's been like 85% of this series. And it's, I don't know. Like I've said all along, A+ material, like C+ presentation, you know?
Yeah, well,
I would say I think
she's doing great now. Why can't she just say that? I'm doing great now. Like, stop, get over it. You did great. Move on.
She is getting over. I think she's getting over by doing this. And these people, there's that old saying that it's not fair, but people always blame it. As a Larry Sanders fan, you should know too, Glenn. The Midwest, the Midwest. You're going to scare the Midwest. No, we don't want the Midwest to freak out. People always blame things on the Midwest. It's like an old TV thing. This is something that the Midwest, quote unquote, would really like in terms of all these networks that WWE appeals to. And this is just another flavor they can offer to just maybe the blue collar type person. Although anybody who has or wants an inspirational story, I think, can connect to this on some level.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the main event.
I want to be clear. I prefer Issa's stories to Lacey.
I didn't eat for 12 hours.
Yes.
FR, because I don't know what your name is. I don't even know what your name is anymore.
No,
I didn't eat.
It's
to cook for me.
Is that a periodic table symbol?
Yes, franium. Is it franium?
Yeah, it's spelled francium, I don't know. Maybe it's.
We should know this with our public education. Shout out to public education. Frank. Oh no, that's French. Okay, we'll get it, everybody.
Got it. Oh, speaking of which, they have a new name for me. This is kind of boring, but they're saying stand by. They have a gimmick that's going to go with this. They think this one's the winner. They think this is going to be good. Let's we'll find out. We'll find out soon what the gimmick is going to be behind this name that Vince himself said this is a perfect gimmick that we think is just going to suit you so well. We're not going to have any problems with this name. It's going to be beloved. It's going to be fantastic. I look forward. Vince, I can't wait to see what you're going to have in mind for this.
So that's where you're hiding.
I quit Beat the Clock Challenge tonight. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Aaliyah. And then we also had Ronda versus Shotzi. Carmen, like the opera. What did you think of both of these matches and the outcome with Charlotte losing?
I thought that Ronda is starting to look a little more comfortable out there. I noticed it last week. I noticed it again this week. I thought the match was great, but the banter between her and Charlotte, I don't think she's coming off as, oh my God, like me, like she was in the beginning. Right now, I feel like she's capitalizing on the fact that she knows that people don't like Charlotte. So mocking her seems to be making Ronda just come off a little bit more likable in this feud. As soon as I saw that Charlotte was getting Aaliyah just because she has this gimmick of getting these weird wins, I kind of knew the direction that this was going on. But my favorite thing was when the clock stopped, Pat said, "So did Aaliyah win?" And I just started laughing so hard.
Yeah, exactly. And he was legitimately confused. And even Michael Cole had been like, well, that is a good point. Like, so Aaliyah won, or Aaliyah and Ronda won, or who won? Because they're doing the little cutesy booking. That's exactly what they get.
I know. I thought it was so funny. Sometimes that's what I love about Pat on commentary. It feels like he's one of us sitting there, like saying the things that we would say, and you don't get that a lot from these like WWE groom commentators. So I just appreciated that. But overall, my takeaway from this was definitely that I can see Ronda slowly getting a little more comfortable. I saw a little bit of it last week and I saw a little bit of it this week. We also haven't talked about how Drew Gulak was the bell timekeeper.
Yes,
ringing the bell this week.
Yeah, well, I think this is very funny that they're doing something new with Drew Gulak every single week. I think that's really good. I think he can get over doing this, and he's a very good punching bag, like the JR role, in terms of people are going to have sympathy for him. I do think he could be a wrestler in town, but I think that hopefully is the long-term goal. But he can really get over doing this. And I will say that build to WrestleMania, I was very critical of that, of Ronda and Charlotte. I think this I Quit build has been very good in terms of getting over this match stipulation, doing something every week that's entertaining, getting heat on Charlotte. I think this is a much better build than what they had at WrestleMania.
Definitely.
And it looks like I'm down to F, ladies and gentlemen. We're going in a completely new
F
direction.
in the chat. F in the chat for F, please.
F in the chat. Yes, it's a very aerodynamic. We could sell a lot of Fs, a lot of foam Fs to be sold.
Yes.
So yeah, of course, Charlotte ended up attacking Drew Gulak after. We thought he was going to be in the I Quit Beat the Clock challenge, but no, he still did get attacked. It was a weird ending. Like when it ended, I was like, that was the end of the show. You know, like the Fox Sports music came on, and I was like, really? That was it?
Same.
It is what it is. Okay, I'm getting something from WWE. They're saying my Dan Frank gimmick. I'll read this for the first time on the air. We think you're going to be really happy with this. We think there's opportunities for promos. You know, we like the name Dan Frank because you're going to be very frank and direct with people. And in fact, you're going to have a journal where you write your explicit thoughts, where you're hiding out backstage. Oh, and the gimmick was canceled already, apparently.
No.
Already was too much. And WWE said, stand by. We're going to have a new name, but we didn't think that through fully. We promise next time. You know, again, we want to tie into your Jewish heritage and faith. We think it's cool your dad's a rabbi. We think there's something we could do there, but, you know, we haven't really hit the mark yet. They're asking me to please give them a little patience. So for now, I'm, you know, just TBD.
I didn't make that connection. I didn't
either. I mean, who even, what?
Oh, it looks like we get the same treatment. I don't even have any letters left myself, Glenn. This is just ridiculous how they just keep... Everything's just getting shorter and shorter.
Well, yours is longer than mine, your blank space.
Yeah. Next thing you know, I'm just going to,
He's in the cornfield. He's disappeared. So we will talk about Rampage tonight.
Great news. They took away my name because of Eva Marie. Wow. They had given me Eva, and then they remember Eva Marie, and they didn't want any confusion. So now I'm also on limbo, waiting on a name.
Unbelievable. They just shorted me so much they even took me out of the chat. This is ridiculous. I'm going to have to really, I don't like these names. I'm going to have to put my foot down. I don't like these names.
They're assuring me next time they think they got something really cooking, and they got a backstory too. I like that they're thinking through backstories for this because it shows that they're really, Vince personally has told me he's invested in my character. And I think that, you know, what more, I mean, what better stamp of approval is there?
I just actually got a private message myself that they are working on my gimmick. They're retooling the character. They're going to give me a new name any minute now, they're saying. And it looks like any minute now, we're going to get a new name for me. So I'm just going to keep you guys updated on that. Things are looking good for the artist formerly known as Freddie Goods.
Well, so right now, I've been told that I am going to be known as an exclamation point. So
no, well, that's
good. That's kind of exciting.
That's a good start, huh?
I like it, right? Like it makes you like, well, I don't know. I over exaggerate when I text.
Here it is, everybody. My new name. WWE has come to terms with the release of Freddie Goods as of Friday, April 29th, 2022. We wish Freddie the best in all.
It was great working with you, man.
Oh God, guys, this.
Oh my God.
God damn it. He took what my final joke was going to be. I had a version of that.
Oh my God.
This is why we need to coordinate these things ahead of time.
No, because it makes it funnier when we don't. Blank, can you please give me your best memory out of working with Freddie Goods, even though it lasted a whole 40 minutes?
I think my favorite part of his run was actually when he was Freddie Goo, because I think that the way they had him with a silly string cannon, and he would, you know, be in the ring and just announce like it's Goo time, you know, and coat the audience and the wrestlers in silly
Freddie,
string.
you're back.
Yes, back, new gimmick, new copyrighted name, you know, just every day is a new beginning. So great to be back on this podcast.
Incredible.
Sorry to interrupt.
Incredible. I'm so happy to have. We were just talking about our favorite Freddie Goods memory. So we're so happy you're back.
Good. Yeah, that was with the Z. This is with an S. We're a whole new beginning.
Yeah, this is, I feel positive about this one.
Good.
I really do. I don't think you're going to get released again like other people have.
Yes.
This is exciting. I just got a personal note from Vince McMahon saying he doesn't think there's going to be a problem with this. He said, this is good, you know, because my middle name is actually my shoot middle name is David. You know, obviously Rubenstein's a really Jewish last name. He's got something here. He's got a story with it. So apparently apparently my character, my father, Sam Berkowitz was also a wrestler, and I'm the son of Sam, and I'm a wrestler, and I get a dog.
The son of Sam.
I get a dog too that comes with me in the ring. So where could this possibly go wrong? I think this is. Oh no! Wait. It's the name of what? Sorry, I'm getting something in my other ear. Someone just bothered to Google this because it's already trending. WWE stepped in it once again. You know, they tried to give Gunther a name associated with World War II and some bad stuff, and now once again WWE has screwed it up. So
it's gonna happen, man. Censorship is everywhere.
It's true. Okay, so I'm gonna give Vince some more details. Maybe maybe I want to go for something just a little a little peppier, a little kind of more, a little sassy. Maybe we're leaning too much on the shtick of my background and my dad and everything.
Well, hopefully you don't get a stripper name because that's my new name apparently.
Oh, so Paris Monroe. That is
I like that.
Very sultry name.
Thank you.
That's good. No, I think that's good times. Okay, so let's talk about Rampage tonight, pre-taped.
Of course, as always.
No, and next week they're going to be early, but are they going to be live next week?
It's at 6, right? We need reminders of these things, you guys.
Yeah.
Because now.
Wait, it's 6 Eastern?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're going to be bumped around. Quite a few shows are going to get bumped around. It's going to be, tough waters for Rampage going up against the playoffs. In addition to kind of the viewership problems that they're already having consistently, so we'll see how it is able to hold up against this competition. And out of its time slot, which is always going to be a killer when you're not going on at the same time.
Yeah. No, it's going to be tough. But tonight, there was a lot to look forward to. Starting with this Owen Hart Foundation tournament, the qualifying match, Darby Allin with Sting versus Swerve Strickland, a match that I loved. Thought super, super hot start to the show. Paris Monroe, what did you think of this match?
This is my Darby Allin impersonation. I thought it was great. I kind of knew Darby was gonna win, so I didn't look up any spoilers here. I just knew, just based on the whole pillar thing, I would assume that at this point the tournaments will build other stars, but that's not the case. Darby moves on. It was a good match. I like that they embraced later on and kind of gave each other the little pat on the shoulder.
That was good.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is excellent. I really did like this opener, and I just like this as a match. This is really, really good. These two, very, very good chemistry, and they worked very well together. I love Darby in these types of matches. He's always known for taking all these crazy bumps and wrestling these hardcore matches. I think he's just as good, if not better, in matches where he just gets to wrestle.
I will say that I'm not a big Darby Allin fan myself, right? But when he just wrestles a straight up wrestling match, I tend to enjoy it more than the crazy bumps and this and that, because you get to see that he's actually talented. And it's more than just, oh my God, this guy jumps and does all these crazy things. So I do appreciate seeing him in regular wrestling matches.
Yeah. I mean, look, both these guys, I think, are such superstars wherever they wrestle. I think with Swerve, actually, I think Swerve is doing better in AEW, maybe his NXT title run, just in terms of attention, but I feel like they're treating him like a huge deal.
They're doing a good enough job with him. I think he's getting exposure, and he's, I don't know about booking is kind of in the middle there, but I do like the fact that he comes off as a big star every time he's out there. People love chanting Swerve's house. So, I mean, he's getting used. I think right now it's about even in terms of, and I would even say in NXT with Hit Row, he seemed his transcendency or his trajectory seemed like it was going to be, a lot bigger, but they're doing fine with him, especially from a wrestling standpoint.
I just love that Darby tends to be in a lot of matches with people with different styles. And I think being with someone so agile this time, we got to see a more physical match.
Right.
It wasn't just waiting for the spots.
Yeah, which is why I appreciated that later on they gave each other their flowers, because I did think they brought out the best out of each other.
That was very, very good. In fact, Dylan Matthews saying never been a big fan of Darby Allin, but tonight he pleasantly surprised me. I mean, I've always thought this kid was going to be a star. I think pairing him with Sting ultimately maybe has hurt him a little bit, because if you go back to when AEW launched and he was getting to do these really intense vignettes that he was shooting, I personally thought that was more interesting. I mean, Paris, he didn't even have rice, let alone the rice that he wanted.
I mean, I didn't eat. I refused to eat just to, be a badass. And my mom was like, okay, starve. And I'm like, really? You're going to let me starve? And she was like, yeah, It was a very traumatic experience for me.
David
Much more
Montalvo
inspirational.
saying Dominic's older sister, Isa Mysterio.
If I was
Hey.
Dominic's older sister, my name would be Isa Guerrero. Thank you very much.
Oh,
That's a bar right there. She's got you there. She's got you there, buddy.
okay. They've said they've got it. This I want something a little playful, a little
Let's
sassy,
go.
a little fun.
I'm so
I think they said I'm going to like this gimmick. It's going to be a complete change of pace. Oh, okay. I can hang with this. I think this is good. Lex boyfriend. I think this could be fun.
Great.
You know, I can make time with the girls and perhaps even the guys in NXT, and it'd be kind of like a fun gimmick. You know, he's good. He's Lex, the good time guy. You know,
WWE's first non-binary gimmick.
I think it'll be good.
Beautiful.
I think it'll be good times. Yeah, I'm into it.
amazing.
We'll hope. Fingers crossed.
Pansexual Lex. This is really going to be hot in the pansexual community.
We'll really be bisexual. I mean, but you know, it works. It all works. It's all good.
Everybody, it has to be all inclusive.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Everybody can get it. That's what the shirts are going to say on the back.
Everybody can
on the
get
back.
it.
Everybody can get it.
I love that. Actually,
Coming soon to Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah.
Next boyfriend merch. Into it. So this match was good. If you watch, actually, you know what? I mean, Rampage tonight. Rampage smoked SmackDown. There were some good moments on SmackDown, but this was actually a pretty strong show. Love this opening match. Darby defeating Swerve. Love them backstage having respect for each other. Love Jericho naming himself Sports Entertainer of the Week.
That's
you know,
great.
Jericho, part of the inspiration, he turned around his physique so much in 4 months. That's where I'm like, you know what? I'm 46. I got to take better care. Lex boyfriend needs to, be in Jericho shape. So it's time to take things seriously, you know?
Yeah. He looks great, and I think his gear is very heelish. I like the glittery, bedazzled Chelsea boots. He's got it down.
I love Jericho when he's on this, like when he's on his heel showing off mode. It's the best Jericho. So I'm here for it.
This match wasn't super long, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. The baddies, which is Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, and Ray Bell, versus Sky Blue, Trish Adora, and Willow Nightingale. Freddie Goods, what'd you think of this?
This is my type of professional wrestling. If you boys see professional wrestling, they probably don't think of this. This is my type of professional wrestling. You got Trish Adora in there as an indie wrestling goat. I hate it had to be her to take the pinfall, but I love me some baddies. I think these baddies look great. I'm going to have a pro wrestling bit on the baddies dropping tomorrow morning that I've been trying to drop for the last 2 weeks, but Tony Khan's been wilding out. And very excited about this. And look, good to see them together. Good to see them wrestling together. It's been a good evolution from them going to the baddies section and now being part of a stable with Jade, which is exactly what I think she needs. And, I don't know what Malcolm Bivens is doing, but he would be a good addition to the baddies section if they needed him. But I'm fine with this just being Black Girl Magic, to be honest.
Yeah, I love this. I love the baddie section. Even the fact that she's actually really putting together baddie sections in every city and giving away free tickets. Like Jade Cargill is over. She looks like the way everybody wants to look. Girls want to be her. Guys want to be with her. Like this is the woman that you want to push. So for these two girls to get a shot, to get to kind of like feed off of that, it's just incredible. You're creating more opportunities for the women, and AEW desperately needs to be doing that. So I am here for all of it.
More opportunities for women and women fans in terms of a call to action to actually get them out there. This seems like something that AEW heels has kind of struggled to do in terms of developing these consistent influxes of women's wrestling fans. Why not just bring them to the show with the baddies section and roll out the red carpet? I think it's a very smart idea. And this is how you grow your women's audience in terms of if you're AEW.
The baddie section, this is what they wish the Los Lotharios kiss cam was.
Yes, this is a lot more exclusive.
This was great. This was a hell of a fun match. I want to see more like this. Man, this show was just such a shot in the arm compared to SmackDown tonight.
That would be a great dream match scenario. Forget the Forbidden Door. That needs to be. I want to see Lotharios X baddie section to see if any of them would be able to get this on camera and be worthy enough to get a kiss from a member of the baddie section. That's the type of dream match booking I want.
Oh man. Yeah. You know how SmackDown was lackluster tonight is I didn't read any buzz about that show at all this week. And it was taped last Friday.
Yeah, same. I saw a couple of things and none of them really played out. And then I think the bigger buzz on social media was what is going on with the tag title match and where's Butch. So it was a very uneventful show.
Yes. There's really nothing happened. I mean, there was nothing to report. There's nothing to have buzz about.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Raw was good.
Yeah, and the news was tonight when they announced that 6-man tag. That was a new development that I'm sure if they had announced that in the stadium, we would have heard. You know what I mean?
Right,
We'd have heard
right.
outrage
They
probably from
did.
within the
Yeah,
stadium.
you're right. They did manage to make it newsworthy for a show that probably will hurt in the ratings being pre-taped.
Yeah. So what was next? Keith Lee versus Colton Gunn with Austin Gunn. Very short match. Keith Lee getting a win.
Yeah, good that they're keeping him strong. This is fine.
Okay.
I don't know why they beat him, but you know, look good out there.
Why did this match happen? How was it set up? What did I miss? Were they wrestling just to wrestle?
Yeah, they were just doing wrestling. Again, there was no story behind this. It was just a showcase for Keith Lee. And then afterwards, they had something for Austin Gunn in terms, or was that Colton Gunn? One of the Guns. Or
Yeah,
you know,
Colton.
The
It was
Ass
Colton.
Boys with the Acclaim.
It just doesn't. I don't know, because okay, we need to get Keith Lee some win, but at the same time, it's like sometimes these matches without any essence to them almost feel as non-important as having him there cut a good promo or do something differently or set up an actual feud. But I'm never gonna be against seeing Keith Lee win, especially. But his booking has just been so weird, so I just have to point it out.
Yeah.
What did you think, Paris, about this backstage promo with the Hardys talking to Tony Schiavone?
And speaking of people that have been booked weird, here we have the Hardys, right? I don't remember this promo.
Well, Jeff Hardy is specifically teasing some one-on-one matches that he can do in singles mode and talking about the tournament where I believe he's going to face Bobby Fish.
I mean, I think it's always great to see Jeff Hardy get a solo run, right? But with that being said, I thought when they came together, we were going to maybe rehash the whole broken. Maybe it's just me because I love the broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero and all of those days. So I really was hoping that we would get to see that run. Hopefully we do get it, but maybe they'll go with Jeff as a singles competitor. If they do more with him than what WWE did.
Yeah, and they might be running out of time in terms of this kind of one last Hardy run because, you know, the Hardys aren't going to be spry forever. And you can kind of see them moving around slower now. And they really need to, I don't think they should, you know, take their time in terms of booking some of these dream matches, quote unquote.
So I just got something from Vince. I'm really enjoying this Lex boyfriend thing, but he's telling me he's got it. He said, you know, we had something available that's inspired by a name that became available, and we think this is going to work even better for you. Oh my God. Okay. I can go. Pete's a good name.
That's
you
good.
know? Yeah.
Doesn't remind me of anything. It's very unique.
Pete Dunner, you know?
That's good.
Yeah.
like
Because what's better than getting it done? Getting it doneer. I get it doneer in the ring.
Yes.
You
Dunner.
know,
The Dunner. Pete Dunner.
I think this will be really strong. I think
I
this
think
will
that's
be good.
great.
I think this is gonna
Get her Dunner.
maybe one day I can face off against Butch in a one-on-one match.
Oh, that would be great. I think the world would. So that would be a fantasy match for me.
Absolutely.
Some people get it done. You get it doneer.
I get it doneer. So Monroe, what did you think about the response? Young Bucks, Adam Cole, and Red Dragon. Lots of flexing backstage. Young Bucks taking their fashion game to more ridiculous levels.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, I love this. I'm excited for this. Anything that the Elite does, I'm always behind them. Maybe it's because I'm an avid watcher of BTE, but I just really, really love everything that these guys do. And I just cannot get enough of this whole Elite and the Undisputed era kind of back and forth. And I cannot wait for Kenny Omega to come back when he's all healthy and just mess all of this up. And we finally get the Elite and the Undisputed era. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like that's what we've been waiting for this whole time with this storyline. I don't hate the fact that they're together and they've done good work. And I like that they're now friendly and they're going to be friendly for a little while longer because this act is funny, especially with Brandon Cutler and how they play off of him. But, you know, eventually I really do want to see, hopefully Kenny Omega is closer to returning so we can see that get an emotion because I don't want this to get stale before comes back.
Yeah, I guarantee you it's because of Kenny being out that they haven't done it yet. That you gotta kind of let it go on a little bit longer, because I do think that he's gonna be the piece that comes back and makes people pick sides, and that's when it will really get interesting.
Yeah. So I love how they said tonight Danhausen and Hook, not a match, but a face-off. And they made it seem like it was going to be a match, like Hook was going to start it. And then, wouldn't you know it, everything had to get ruined when Tony Nese came to the ring with Mark Sterling. Do they pay this off, or do we use this diversion to delay the Danhausen Hook match, or perhaps do they become a team?
I mean, I think they're going to become a team. I think they're now building to the handshake, and fans were chanting Hookhausen. I'm fine with these two crossing paths, and it's entertaining, and the people like it. But long term, I don't know if this is what you want to do with Hook just yet in terms of a long-term goofy storyline. But then again, WWE is the master of these strange bedfellow tag teams, and they often do create stars out of this. So there is a model that maybe mainstream wrestling fans can gravitate to. And this is in Hook's wheelhouse in terms of being this weird, ironic feud that he could be in. So it looks like they're going to have them together as a team. And they said it was a face-off instead of being a match. And I think people really did want to see them have a match.
I did, but I don't want Hook involved in this. I'm sorry. I feel like he got so organically over. You had a good thing going here, and I know that Danhausen is appealing to certain people, but I just don't know that he's gonna elevate Hook, and I'm not sure that Hook is in the position that he can elevate him. Like you said, there's some weird tag teams that do work, but here it's just so far off. Even Hook speaking drives me crazy. I don't even want to see him speaking, and now he's talking. I don't like it, and I'm not sure that I'm not with this pairing. So I hope it doesn't end up with them becoming a pair.
Drew Jacobs saying, how about Malcolm Bivens manages Wardlow? Love to see that.
That'd be good. I mean, that'd be fine. I mean,
Wardlow cut a really good promo on his own. I want Malcolm Bivens to really help somebody that needs the mouthpiece,
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Or, somebody who could use that. He'd be great for that kind of directionless team of Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs, where I think they're very talented, but they tend to be in kind of circling around, and he just promos from him would really give them some direction. But I think it might be a little naive for people to consistently, this is what we always do is, he needs to go to AEW or whatnot. AEW's got their own kind of budget cuts that they're doing in terms of not renewing contracts, being a little pickier. And then there's that whole Warner Media Discovery monster that's overhanging, and we don't know what the future is going to look like there with all those budget cuts. So, I think AEW has bigger fish to fry before they think about adding to the roster, especially given the fact that a lot of these former WWE stars they brought in haven't done much of anything.
Yeah, Swerve they seem more enamored with than most.
Yeah, I think Swerve and Lee, they're protecting to a degree. I don't know if there's any plans for that. They just seem to be on TV in the same position. Yeah. But some are better than others, but I've noticed that a lot more stars get lost in the shuffle due to the limitations that AEW has.
Yeah, man, Adam Cole. I mean, TK just must love him for all the opportunities he's gotten. I mean, they're treating Adam Cole like he's at the CM Punk Daniel Bryan level.
Yeah, and he did get in on the early end of those stars coming into AEW, so he did have a little more time to stretch his legs. He does have more friends and connections at the top of AEW, and so that really was in a good spot for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main event tonight, love seeing this. Ring of Honor World TV Championship, Samoa Joe defending against Trent Beretta with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Talking about the Code of Honor, getting into this match. Just love seeing Samoa Joe on television. Freddie Goods, what'd you think of this?
That was good. I thought the pre-match promos were fun. Samoa Joe cut this excellent promo. I thought, just being the scary, menacing beast. And I believe Trent's promo was like, "You think you're going to submit me, Joe? You're not. Okay, well, we're going to go to the ring." Ridiculous. He didn't even try. But I like the match.
Why would you try when you have somebody like Samoa Joe to go against? You might as well give up before you even try to start cutting a promo, right? Because God, every time Samoa Joe speaks, I just almost want him in a role where he's just cutting promos. I wish his gimmick was that he intimidates people with words and he never has to fight them, because he actually could get away with that, right? But the match itself was absolutely incredible. I really loved it. I was speaking on my own stream about how I really can't get behind Trent Beretta, and I thought that Samoa Joe really made him look good while, still getting the victory. I am very confused with the Ring of Honor titles and how they're going to set up the matches. And, we have this ranking system in AEW. I would love to know what they're basing and why these people are getting their shots, but I'm not going to question anything in regards to this match. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Good main event. And then after the match, Jay Lethal coming out. Sonjay Dutt, Sanam Singh. And the best friends blocking their advances. Orange Cassidy doing the hands in the pockets and the kicks. Lethal cutting them off in the brawl. This hour flew by. This was a really enjoyable show.
It really did. I am not a big fan of Orange Cassidy, but for some reason, seeing him hit those kicks on this giant, it's the first time I actually popped for it.
I do. I love Orange Cassidy, and that visual was very funny in terms of watching him kick this giant. And it was very smart for Jay Lethal and Sanjay to kind of interrupt that and rob the fans of this moment. Got a lot of heat for it.
Yeah.
Strong ending.
I really hope WWE sticks with my name. Sorry, I like Tony Cyclone, so I hope that this one sticks. We'll see.
Very powerful name. Very powerful.
Okay, they've said Vince said he thinks this is the perfect name for me and where my career is going. We'll see if it sticks.
Well, there it is.
Oh, I like that because it's kind of forward thinking. Yeah, it's good. I think this one could work.
Yeah, well, 2 out of 3 they fired. How did you keep your job, Tony? She's just a good sport.
Yeah, I'm just very good at what I do.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some tips from that. But I thought this was a fine show. It's just nothing really happened. I mean, there's not a lot of stars on the show. They were going head to head against the NBA playoffs and the NFL draft, which had my attention. I'll tell you that. So it might be a fast national Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, from Freddie Gibson. But then again, I did get released by WWE, so I don't even know if that's even going to be a thing anymore. So who knows? Just follow me on my timeline at This Is Nasty, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. I will say, to your point, it was a fun Rampage, right? It flew by, but it didn't feel like an eventful night of wrestling. I have fun watching some of the matches on Rampage, but overall, it was one of those nights that if we didn't have to do this, I would have probably not watched wrestling.
Yeah, it's tough. Freddie, I think you could go to AEW and change your kayfabe name to Fast Nationals, and your faction could be the Army of Bots.
Oh, yes. Now we're talking. Give me some bots. That'd make a hell of an entrance too. They all just kind of stand
oh
apart
my God. Yes.
Let's go. That could be the reveal. When he reveals the results of his independent reports, I could be revealed as a person behind them.
And then you lose to Darby.
Oh, yeah. I got to do the job. Yes. I got to give back to the business at that point.
Yeah.
Fun night tonight.
I like future endeavor though. Like that should be an actual gimmick. A manager that every time you pick up a talent, they get future endeavor.
That's great.
So nobody wants you to manage them.
Oh man. Okay, so fun night tonight. SmackDown Rampage. Watch Rampage. Watch the women's matches in SmackDown. Someone pointed out in the chat the women did carry SmackDown tonight, although Sammy and Drew was pretty good as well. Rampage flew by. Next week, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for Rampage SmackDown.
3 p.m. Pacific? It's like going to be going head to head with Ellen.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Fast Nationals gonna really break it all down.
Destroyed next week. Woo! Man, if WWE will have me back, my phone's gonna be ringing on Saturday.
But you know what that means, though? We get to podcast earlier, and we'll probably go on for 2 hours, and we'll still get out of here at the same time, like we did the last time we got to podcast earlier.
WWE, I'm just to be clear, World Wyndham Enterprises. It's a information plant that I work at. Digital cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. World Wyndham Enterprises is what I'm talking about in terms of these sources. World Wyndham Enterprises.
Wow.
I heard Raw was good this week, though. I heard Raw had one of his best shows in a long time.
Raw was very good this week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say very good, but it was good. It was enjoyable.
Okay. That's something. Well, on behalf of Freddie Goods, Tony Cycle, I am Future Endeavor. Thank you for tuning in to the Wrestling Inc. podcast. We will catch you back here next time. Have a great weekend, everybody, and take care.